So, I had a very, very dumb idea. What if genocide route frisk and SCP-076 Able were to fight? Like, let's say genocide frisk somehow got out of the underground after killing Sans and Flowey. Even though I know that wouldn't be possible, what if it did? What if they just started causing such havoc that, let's just say that the SCP Foundation exists in this world? I know it doesn't, but let's just say that they start sending MTFs after them. It stands for Mobile Task Force. Oh wait, I should have said this earlier, but if you're a kid, these two pictures are kind of violent. And as for the reason, and I feel like eventually the SCP Foundation, after losing ones like Hammer Down, would probably send out Able eventually, and his coffin. So let's just say that Abel's coffin was put right in front of one of Frisk's save points, right after she saves. So, let's go over their powers and abilities. I'll start with Able. Able is, well, he's able to open portals and grab weapons out of them. And that's in any weapon that he has. And he's also fast enough to dodge bullets, which is about, I think, 500 miles per hour, or is it 5,000? I'm just going to go with 5,000. And his coffin, because he was cursed, he comes back after dying in his coffin. So if he dies, he can just come back in his coffin. Frisk. Frisk can summon knives that can send slashes at her enemies and these slashes and knives are made of pure determination. Frisk is fast enough to dodge a Gaster Blaster, which we're just assuming is fast as a bullet. Frisk is also able to kill monsters like Papyrus in one hit. And he has over 200 HP, I think. Or is it just 20? I don't know. But they're also able to do thousands upon millions of damage if they're mad enough. And then they're also able to reset. That's why I said they would put Abel's coffin there right after Frisk saved. Frisk remembers all the resets, and if you kill her, she'll reset at her last save. Meanwhile, Able doesn't rewind time that way. I did notice a few huge differences between them, and I now think that I know who would win. I think it would be Able, because here, yes, they can both come back after dying, but you remember what I said? Abel's is from a curse. Frisk is from determination. Able is extremely intelligent, and Sans was smart enough to find out about the resets, which means that, in theory, if Able really is smarter than him, then it shouldn't take that many resets because after Frisk resets, she'll know his attacks, so he'll likely start to get suspicious. And after killing her again and again, he'll eventually realize that Frisk is able to come back after dying. Or he'll think that Frisk can come back. Or he'll think that Frisk is able to predict the future, so he'd probably try to come up with some sort of test for this. And afterwards he'd likely find out that Frisk cannot predict the future, and gives some sort of thing like that he doesn't have to worry about killing her, or just to scare her and get rid of a bit of her determination, tell her that he also comes back after dying. And eventually he'd probably tell her that her ability to come back, if he remembered ever again, like if he ever found out again, and then he'd probably tell her that her reset, or he'd probably just say that her ability to come back after dying is different from his. Hers is a gift. Hers comes from her determination. His is a curse. It cannot truly be destroyed. He can never be gone forever. So I think that Abel would eventually wear down her determination, causing her to no longer be able to reset. Who do you think would win? Frisk or Abel? Oh dang it, I forgot to say that Frisk's phone can also shoot. That if we're doing like a neutral route, or that somehow they keep their weapons from all the routes, then if they get to keep everything from each route, then that means that they would also be able to heal themselves from pure hope. They'd also have a weapon from, like, they'd have their whole laser phone. You know how Alphys upgrades your phone to be able to shoot lasers? She also upgrades your phone to be able to access several of your weapons when you put it in. That's one of the main reasons I chose Frisk and Abel. They have very similar abilities. Except, oh wait, another thing that puts it in Frisk in Abel's favor, her weapons aren't always accessible, and she can't always shoot the lasers. And that comes from her phone.